Hello, this is the ramblings of an Undisciplined Mind podcast for Friday, October 28th, 2016. It's been a day today, but it's the work day portion of it is over. It is. I am out of there. So that's kind of cool. Typically Fridays is when I would give you a review of a book I've seen, or a movie I've read, or maybe flip those around. I really haven't. Last Friday I watched The Devil's Advocate. That was kind of strange. It was bad, but it was just different. Nothing I necessarily want to spend a lot of time talking about. I'm reading The Man in the High Castle right now by Philip K. Dick, and I am enjoying that, but I'm not done yet. I probably will talk about that when it gets done. So I'm just going to talk about some other things that are kind of going on. So first of all, a little housekeeping. The WordPress site is ready to go. So this weekend, I'm going to flip that switch. I'm going to point the Penslinger domain away from the Blogspot, blog, and point it to my WordPress site. And I'm excited. I'm happy to be doing that. I'll talk Monday about some of the things that are new and different about the site. But until then, so I will talk about that on Monday on my usual Penslinger update. The main reason why I wanted to bring it up, that also means at some point this weekend, I'm going to point the Ramblings feed and basically any of the feeds that I have. It should just be the Ramblings feed, probably the Timeout feed, and the Meta feed to the WordPress blog. And what that's going to mean for you RSS people is that you're probably going to see a whole bunch of stuff as being new in those feeds, and you'll just have to say Mark Mull's played in whatever your podcatcher should be able to do that. I apologize for that, but that's just because I'm going to port everything over. I don't want to have here's the old blog and the new blog. I can export everything out of Google, and then I can import it into WordPress. So I'm going to do that so that I've got everything in one place. I don't know if it's going to bring comments over or not. I'm not getting rid of the stuff on Blogspot. I'm not going to delete it, so I'll still have access to it. I will probably at some point make it private, make it non-visible, but I'm not going to worry about that right away. I probably will pull it from search engines. I think you can do that with the privacy where it's public, but it's not in search engines. So I will probably do that. But I'm not going to make it private right away. So yeah, I'm excited to get that in place and get all that done. That's a big to do checked off that thing there. So that will be fun to get done. What else was I going to talk about today? I had another topic kind of in the back of my brain, and now the back of my brain is empty. Today is, or this weekend really, is a big weekend for University of Michigan football. If you are watching the video, all one of you or two of you, you will see I have my Michigan hat on again today. We were encouraged to wear our Michigan wear, so I've got my Wolverine sweatshirt on, or hoodie really, and all that, and because this Michigan State game, which on paper this year should be a blowout win for Michigan, because State has looked horrible. But for these rivalry games, you can never just go based on that, because sometimes teams, and Michigan State included, will play above their station, if you will, and do better. And so I'm hoping that Michigan is able to just stomp all over them, as it would seem they should be, but you never know. You can't take anything for granted. You can't take anything for granted there. So yeah, I'm just hopeful that that we win. The other thing that's going on tomorrow that I will probably talk about in a future podcast is we are going to go see Deepwater Horizon tomorrow. And we haven't seen it before. This is probably going to be the last week that it's in theaters, or next to the last, because there's only like one showing before in matinee time, and after that there was a couple in the afternoon, but that's about it. So we are going to go see that tomorrow. I think the showing is 11:45. Anything before noon is considered a matinee. So I am looking forward to that. Although I look at that movie, I read Paul Cooley's The Black. I don't remember if I talked about it, but it's basically, an oil rig out in the deep ocean that kind of disturbs a creature that shouldn't be disturbed, and then tentacly monster badness happens. And I know that's not what Deepwater Horizon is, but it is also on a deep oil rig. And I keep looking at the things going, oh, wow, it's Paul Cooley's The Black. But I know it really isn't. But just the imagery, I was reading it about the time the ads started hitting for that, and it was just like, oh, that's the same kind of environment. So maybe I'll get that out of my head by then. And then next week we're going to go see Inferno. So those are a couple, and it's kind of funny. The wife and I were like, we both read Inferno like a month and a half ago or so, easily, maybe 2 months ago. We got it from the library. And so we both read it around the same time. And apparently we're both so good now at envisioning Tom Hanks in that role that we played that movie in our brain. Now, she knows a lot of some of the actual locations because they go to Florence, and she's been to Florence. I have not. So that part was all just me making stuff up out of whole cloth. But and we'd seen some ads for it, I think, about the same time, and then they stopped advertising it. So then the last couple weeks they've been advertising it again. And we were talking about this the other night, and we both had the reaction to ourselves as, didn't we already see that? I felt like I saw it. And then I realized, no, I just read the book, and in my head, Tom Hanks was starring in it. And so I've seen my version of it in my head. I haven't seen the actual version of it. So we're looking forward to that. This is the opening weekend, but we thought we'd snag the chance to see Deepwater Horizon on the big screen, and that it also gets us away from any opening weekend craziness. Although typically at the times we go, it's usually not a problem, unless it's like Star Wars or something huge like that. Then we might want to get there mega early, even if we're like going to a 9:30, 10 o'clock show, because it could be a lot more people there. Although typically not so much, really. I mean, usually we got zero problems if we're going that early. It's when you get closer to noon and after that it gets crazy nuts. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't had any movie theater popcorn in probably a month and a half. There wasn't anything to see I don't think we saw anything in September. And the only October movie that we were really interested in was Deepwater Horizon, which we're seeing this weekend. So yeah, I guess, let's see, Inferno, is it? So Inferno's this weekend, so that's technically, no, Inferno must be next weekend. Now I'm confused. I thought Inferno was a November release, which would make it next weekend, because this weekend is not November. It's like a pain getting old. It really is. But anyway, so we're going to see both those movies, and I'm looking forward to them because they both look good. And if Deepwater Horizon, if that's based off of an actual book, an actual memoir, that might be worth picking up at some point. That would be interesting to read. But yeah, I guess that'll be that for today. It's a Friday ramble on the Ramblings of an Undisciplined Mind podcast. I will be back tomorrow. Feedback show from the studio. And I'll be talking to you then. So, be seeing you.